Coach, first 3 days in the books, how are you sensing this team is responding and acting through the first 3 days?
I say I like the maturity. You know, guys be able to practice together against one another, get better without pads on. I think it's going to be a big key for us. You know, in the way games going nowadays, you can't line up every single day and put pads on. You know, the game is kind of evolving. There's no more two-a-days and some of that stuff. So you really got to be mature enough, like pros, to learn to practice well together without full equipment.
One of the things that you have to do when you take over a program is develop leadership. How are your upperclassmen responding, getting out here and being in charge of everything?
All the things we've asked them to do, I think they've done a great job of. You know, there's tests all along the way. You know, from the very first week we were there, the attention training, to all of a sudden to go into winter conditioning, to spring football, to the summer stuff. There's all different phases of the leadership. The real leadership's going to come now. So hopefully we've developed it and built it because they've done everything we've asked them to do. Now you kind of add some of the human elements that come involved with training camp and with depth charts and playing time and things like that we got to continue to enhance what it is that we do. But I think we got the core nucleus of having some great leadership.
We talked about special teams on Wednesday. Take me through the detail that you guys go through on special teams. Where does that come from in your philosophy in terms of having a position coach at each level of return team and coverage team and the way you guys break it down?
Well, I think it takes an emphasis, obviously, from my emphasis that I'm going to coach most of the special teams and be the lead guy on at least kickoff and punt, to all the other coaches having a role in what they're doing. They're in the same room with these guys, and if they don't really truly put an emphasis on it and understand it's going to win us 3 games, we're the example to them. We are still the leaders of what it is that we're doing, and we're the examples to set to these guys. So every coach has got to take it serious, you know, and they're accountable for their guys to be on them. And you know, you can't play on defense, you can't play on offense if you don't have some role on special teams.
Offensive line was a question coming into this. Without pads, I know it's a little bit harder to tell, but how have you viewed their progress and what they've shown you the first couple days?
I think they're starting to gel. I think Coach Crook's doing a great job. He's having to flop some guys around at different spots, guards to tackle to guards, moving some guys in at center. But it's the whole idea of how do those guys gel together? How do they really kind of start to work as one? I think that's what they're doing. It's really difficult, especially with our D-line and some of the stuff that we're doing to get great work up front, you know, trying to be smart about what it is we're doing. I'm hoping this is paying off big time for us as we put on the pads and go into fall camp. But I like the leadership, I like the way they're going, and I like the way they're starting to come together.
Obligatory quarterback question. couldn't get away without it, but how have those guys been?
We all know it's the most difficult position, I think, in the world. You know, the pro quarterbacks, college quarterbacks, everything is done to try to affect those guys. So there's a process to it. In a situation, some days like this, when you know you're doing some situational third down long stuff without pads on, it's difficult. But you know, again, I like the leadership. I like the progression that we've seen from the day we walked in through spring football to right now. I think we got a good battle on our hands, and I'm excited to see what happens here in the next couple weeks in camp.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.